Yes, what is going on, producer friends? Today's video, we're talking about tighter kicks and how to get them. Also, I've just been battling like a sinus infection for like a week, so if I look and sound like trash, that is why, and I'm sorry. But I'm still here doing it for the people. So in this video, we're going to talk about how to get tighter kicks. I will be using the drum rack inside of Ableton, but I think there's similar things you can do with this NFL. I don't know of a way to do this just in audio, using audio effect racks or anything like that. But if you guys know of a way to recreate this technique with audio kicks, then definitely let me know in the comments. I learn a lot of shit in the comments, honestly. But that's enough of me talking. That's not really why you came to the video. So let's go ahead, hop into Ableton, and I'll show you how I tighten up my kicks. All right, here we are in Ableton, and I have one drum rack open up with my kick inside, and the other one I just have some basic drums on top of. So we can go ahead and take a listen to this. This is just a kick from my House Essentials pack. Link in the description if you want to go ahead and grab that. But you'll see right now that it's a little bit mismatched with the percussion that we have on top. So you can see that the percussion that we have on top is a little bit more of like a minimal, like deep kind of like techie thing. And I think this kick is just a little aggressive. This is just a little bit too like saturated, a little too long, I think. I think it would get in the way of some bassline elements. So I'm going to show you two really fast ways to tighten up this kick in the low end and then also in the top end. So first way to tighten up the kick, Deadmau5 has talked about this a lot. I think this is a pretty popular one, so I want to just get it out of the way really fast, is to shorten up this tail. So you can see it's about 300 milliseconds long. So 300 milliseconds is going to be like basically this long at the 8th note. And I can tell by highlighting and then looking down here in the bottom, you see this is 274 milliseconds. So that's taking up, I mean, over an 8th note. We really don't need all that. I really would much rather have that space open for a bass line to come through or something like that. So all we really got to do is bring this flag back, and when you have snap on, it will snap to the 0 crossings. And basically all that means is you won't get any stupid little pops and clicks. But I always like to just pull the fade out up like that, just because it makes it a little bit smoother. And then pull it back to literally like 100 milliseconds-ish. Is usually kind of what I shoot for. We can take a listen to it. And it will sound a little bit less fat, but that is literally the point, you know what I mean? You got to cut the fat so you can add in more fatness later. So that is just the very first tip, very, very simple. But I think the more interesting tip here is actually going to be using this filter. You can hear that the transient is super, very dirty. And that would be dope if we were making like some bass house or maybe some techno or something like that. But I think in something minimal, we don't necessarily want a super huge thump right in our face. So what we're going to do is filter that down. Okay, so cool. So that already sounds a little bit better, but now there's like literally no high end. And if we listen to this on like a phone or something, I don't know that we would necessarily hear that kick all too well, especially when we have other percussion layers coming in and everything. So the way that we're going to combat this is actually turn on the filter envelope. You go over to controls here and you can see we have our visualization of our filter right here. But there is also an envelope right here. So we can go ahead and click over to the envelope, filter envelope. And if you don't know what an envelope is, essentially all it's going to do is take this parameter, in this case our filter, and open it and close it really, really quickly, as if we were sitting there and going boop, like that. But it's going to do it with way more accuracy than we ever could. So I will start playing around with this and you'll see pretty quickly the sounds that we can get from it. So you bring up the amount. So that's how much it opens the filter. And this D right here stands for decay time. This is going to be the time it takes for the filter to completely close down. So you see if I have it super open, it's basically doing nothing. And if I have it super tight, it's going to close down super quickly. So this will obviously take a little bit of experimenting to find the sweet spot with the rest of your drums and everything. So let's go ahead and turn on the full loop and see if we can get a little bit of context. Cool. I think that sounds a little bit more subtle, but we haven't completely destroyed our kick to where it still sounds fat, but it's not as in your face as before because we don't always want a kick that's super in our face. So here's the difference. So it is pretty subtle, but I will say this really comes in handy when you start to add later elements, add synths, add more percussion and stuff like that, because it's super flexible. Say you're not getting enough high end, boom, all you got to do is come in and mess with the filter envelope, open it up a bit. Boom, and now you're getting more high end. So it's actually a super easy way to have more control down the line when you're trying to mix and everything as well. So let's just go ahead and write in a little bass line here just for fun. Might as well. So just throw the side chain on. Something like this. Do a little look ahead type thing. Something like that should work. And let's just draw in our little bass line. This is just a rack that is available on my Patreon. That's just super quick way to get bass lines down. All right, and that is going to be it for today's video. A super fast way to tighten up your kicks with a little bit of flexibility. I really hope you guys enjoyed this, and if you stuck around this long, please consider supporting me on Patreon. The link is in the description. But for now, I will see you guys in the next one. Yes, what is going on?